It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy. You know?
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and
why would Ryan have to do this? Well, you see, Ryan had a bigger problem. And his problem stems from what happened between his wife, Blake Lively, and a guy named Justin Baldoni. Okay.
Brace yourself. The drama between Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and Ryan Reynolds just hit a whole new level. In a jaw-dropping twist, Ryan has been kicked out of Wrexham ownership right after shocking revelations about Blake's deception came to light. This lawsuit fiasco is spiraling out of control, tearing apart the flawless image of the Reynolds family. When Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney took over Wrexham, the world was stunned. Some were thrilled, others skeptical. Picture this: two Hollywood A-listers stepping into the world of a historic Welsh football club. It felt like a scene ripped straight from a movie. Ryan quickly became the face of the club, showing up at matches, mingling with fans, and pushing Wrexham into the global spotlight through his relentless social media presence. He wasn't just another celebrity investor, he was the guy who made people believe he genuinely cared about the team's future. But that wave of excitement? It has crashed in the most spectacular way. Ryan's sudden exit has left Wrexham fans completely stunned, scrambling for answers. What's really going on? Was this all planned? Did he see the writing on the wall? And the biggest question, what role did Blake play in this shocking downfall? If you're still catching up on how this disaster started, let's break it down. It all erupted with explosive accusations. Blake Lively came forward claiming she was sexually assaulted on the set of It Ends With Us, pointing the finger at Justin Baldoni. And this wasn't just any claim. Baldoni wasn't just acting in the film, he was directing it. From that moment, everything spiraled. The conflicting details quickly snowballed into a massive legal war that just keeps escalating with no end in sight. Justin Baldoni, backed by Jimmy Heath, Wayfarer Studios, and his powerhouse publicist, wasted no time in striking back. His first move? Slapping the New York Times, the outlet that first aired Blake's allegations, with a massive lawsuit. But that was just the opening shot. Then, things took a scandalous turn. Justin set his legal sights directly on Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And that's when the real chaos began. We're talking backstabbing on a Game of Thrones level. Public feuds straight out of a Taylor Swift breakup anthem, and a flood of shady text messages now exposed for the world to see. In his lawsuit, Justin doesn't hold back. He accuses the New York Times of teaming up with Blake to twist the story, cherry-picking details while conveniently leaving out key facts to frame him and his team as the villains. According to Justin, his legal team had already dismantled Blake's claims and sent the evidence directly to the paper before the article was published. But did that stop them? Not at all. Instead, the story was rushed out 2 hours ahead of schedule, a move Justin sees as a calculated power play to control the entire narrative. Blake, on the other hand, took a different approach, less direct, but just as calculated.
Blake Lively might have just done herself in this battle with Justin Baldoni, although she didn't do it intentionally. It was something she said
long before she ever worked with Justin Baldoni.
Right, but there's something she said that has now been resurfaced, and it is right on the nose as far as what the issues are in her battle with Justin Baldoni.
Got a whole lot messier with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And guess what? Ryan Reynolds just got officially kicked out of Wrexham ownership, right after Blake got caught lying. This whole lawsuit drama is turning into a full-blown disaster, and it looks like the once picture-perfect Reynolds family is falling apart right before our eyes.
Instead of going through the usual legal channels, she filed a right to sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department, effectively sidestepping the discovery process to keep the real details hidden. But now that the truth is out in the open, Justin's camp is firing back. They're calling her move a manipulative stunt, accusing her of fabricating a lawsuit threat just to boost her own credibility. Blake's core accusation? That Justin and his inner circle weaponized their media influence to drag her name through the mud. To back it up, she even brought out text messages as supposed proof. But Justin's camp fired back hard, insisting those messages were manipulated to make it look like there was some orchestrated plot against her. The battle lines are officially drawn, and this drama, it's only heating up. Justin's team wasn't about to back down. They hit back with their own bombshell evidence. In a calculated move, they leaked internal conversations that exposed their real concerns about Blake's PR machine spinning the narrative in her favor. One particularly damning text showed Justin himself questioning, "How can we prove we aren't behind this? It looks terrible." A colleague reassured him, insisting the real media manipulation was all Blake's doing. Meanwhile, a PR rep brushed off the uproar, claiming the backlash was nothing more than a response to Blake's own strategic moves. And that's just the beginning of the chaos. Justin's lawsuit doesn't stop there. He's doubling down, accusing Blake of manipulating messages to fit her version of events. One glaring example? She put a spotlight on a text exchange about an article titled, "Could Blake Lively be cancelled?" where a team member remarked, "Wow, you really outdid yourself with this." Sounds sketchy, right? But Justin's team is calling foul. They insist Blake deliberately erased emojis and stripped away the sarcasm, turning what was meant to be a casual, joking remark into something dark and incriminating. If you're thinking Ryan Reynolds is just a bystander in this mess, think again. He's right in the middle of the chaos. As this scandal unravels, it turns out Blake wasn't just starring in It Ends With Us. She was allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes, trying to take over creative control. Reports claim she pushed hard for Justin to let her edit and rewrite scenes, something almost unheard of for an actress on set. And Justin? Ever the accommodating director, he gave in. But that decision, it came back to haunt him in ways he never saw coming. But here's the real shock. Ryan wasn't just playing the supportive husband in the background. He was deeply involved in the creative process. Reports reveal that he didn't just offer feedback, he actively helped rewrite parts of the script. And get this, one cast member even spilled that Ryan made major changes to multiple scenes, something that almost never happens for an actor who isn't even in the film. But with Blake in the mix, Hollywood's usual rules went straight out the window. You won't believe what came next. Insiders say Blake and Ryan weren't just tweaking a few lines. They were constantly revising dialogue, reshaping entire scenes, and creating major tension on set. And Blake? She played it perfectly. She showered Justin with compliments, calling him one of the best directors she'd ever worked with. She even claimed past directors had stifled her creative vision, making Justin feel like he was doing her a favor by giving her free rein. And Justin? Eager to please, he handed over the creative control she so badly wanted. And that's when things really started unraveling. Here's where things get downright cinematic. Literally. Blake started calling herself Khaleesi, boasting that she had dragons, aka Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, who would always stand by her side. And this wasn't just some playful celebrity reference. No, Blake was flexing. Hard. She knew exactly what she was doing, throwing around her massive influence in both the film and music industries. With power players like Taylor and Ryan in her corner, she was fully aware of how to strategically use her connections to push her own agenda.
You know, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially when it came to intimacy and all of that, like, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me.
But Blake wasn't just tweaking a few scenes. She was gunning for control over the entire script. And Justin? Trying to keep the peace, he gave in to her constant demands, hoping to avoid any major conflicts. But the more he relented, the worse things got. Blake became relentless, challenging every directorial decision, turning the set into a battleground of egos and control. What started as creative input quickly spiraled into total chaos. Mayhem off camera. Now here's the wild twist, and the irony is off the charts. While Blake was publicly accusing Justin of harassment, she was privately flooding him with messages and even inviting him over. If she was so uncomfortable, why keep up constant communication? And it wasn't just casual talk. Her texts were overwhelmingly positive. She raved about the film clips, praised Justin's direction, and kept pushing for more footage. The contradiction? Absolutely staggering. And why are people rallying behind Justin instead of Blake? Simple. He had receipts. Justin's legal team didn't just talk. They delivered hard evidence. They pulled back the curtain on one of the biggest allegations in Blake's lawsuit, putting everything on display. Blake had claimed that during a scene meant to be completely silent, Justin got too close, whispering to her in a way that made her uneasy. She even alleged that he caressed her cheek and neck, actions that were never in the script. Sounds damning, right? But here's where things take a jaw-dropping turn. Blake had no idea what was coming. She never saw Justin's next move hitting like a wrecking ball. Out of nowhere, he dropped the actual footage, and just like that, her entire accusation crumbled. The leaked clips didn't just contradict her claims, they completely debunked them. The so-called whispering and unwanted touching. The footage proved it never happened the way she described. What was supposed to be her smoking gun? It turned into a major backfire. Before the firestorm triggered by the leaked video, Blake had no clue that audio had been recorded during the very scene she accused Justin of misconduct in. She thought her version of events would stand uncontested, but when the footage dropped, it told a completely different story. Turns out Justin and Blake were fully in character the entire time, and the most damning revelation? Blake herself had suggested they talk during the scene to make it feel more romantic in slow motion. The whole thing was about cinematic perfection. Nothing inappropriate ever happened. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get wilder, it did. Even with solid evidence stacked against her, Blake refused to back down. She doubled down on her claims, now accusing Justin of both harassment and body shaming. But she didn't stop there. She allegedly manipulated Ryan into turning against Justin, despite the fact that the two men had never even worked together before. Now, enter Taylor Swift. Her name has been dragged into the chaos, and her fans? Absolutely livid. The latest buzz? Taylor might be distancing herself from Blake, realizing she was never a true friend, just another pawn in Blake's master plan. And the latest buzz? Taylor didn't send Blake her usual Super Bowl invite this year, a VIP perk she's always reserved for her closest friends. Ouch. But here's where things get even messier. Insiders say that even if Taylor had invited her, Blake wouldn't have gone. Her reason? She was determined not to let her legal drama steal the spotlight from Taylor and Travis Kelce's big moment. A noble move? Or just a carefully crafted excuse? You decide. Just last year, Blake was living it up in the VIP suite, cheering for the Chiefs right alongside Taylor's inner circle. But now, the entire landscape has shifted. With Blake neck-deep in a high-stakes legal war against Justin Baldoni, Taylor is steering clear of the drama, keeping a low profile. And let's not forget, Baldoni's staggering $400 million lawsuit directly accuses Blake of using Taylor's fame to sabotage his project. A Hollywood scandal of this magnitude? It doesn't get much bigger than this. According to insiders at the Daily Mail, Taylor's decision to distance herself from Blake isn't about beef. She's just dodging the drama. Publicly, she's staying neutral, but privately, she's not happy. Blake calling Taylor one of her dragons? That did not sit well with her. And here's where it gets even shadier. Sources claim Taylor had no idea Justin Baldoni would be at Blake's apartment when she visited. The timing? Suspiciously perfect. Insiders strongly believe Blake orchestrated the whole thing, setting it up so Taylor would accidentally run into Baldoni right as he was leaving. But wait, there's more. Taylor was stunned to learn that Blake had been misusing her name behind the scenes. One shocking example? Blake allegedly told a young actress that Taylor herself had personally cast her, an outright falsehood according to insiders who completely deny the claim. And this controversy couldn't have come at a worse time. Blake was already facing backlash after old clips resurfaced, making her seem out of touch with the public. Sources say Taylor once tried to mentor her, advising her to tone it down and be more relatable. The problem? Blake has never been one to hold back. And now? Her fearless attitude might just be the very thing that takes her down. Oh, but don't think all the drama is just swirling around Blake. Ryan Reynolds is right in the thick of it too. And this time, the chaos is playing out on the soccer pitch. For those who haven't been keeping up, Ryan, along with Rob McElhenney, made headlines when they swooped in to rescue Wrexham AFC from fading into obscurity in the National League, the fifth tier of English football. And with their Hollywood star power plus an intense media frenzy, the club completely turned things around. The result? A fairy tale comeback. Wrexham stormed its way up the ranks, clinching back-to-back promotions and making its way into League One. But behind the scenes, things aren't as picture-perfect as they seem. Right now, Wrexham is fighting tooth and nail for yet another promotion. This time, gunning for a spot in the championship. But with rivals like Stockport County, Birmingham City, Wycombe Wanderers, and Huddersfield Town breathing down their necks, The battle is far from over. But here's where things take a shocking turn. According to The Mirror, Ryan isn't just focused on Wrexham. He's allegedly part of a high-powered consortium planning to buy MLS club Vancouver Whitecaps. And this isn't just some casual investment. This is his hometown team. And let's not forget, Ryan and Rob already own stakes in another club, Mexico's Necaxa. So is this just another power move, or is Ryan quietly shifting his football empire elsewhere? Wrexham fans are buzzing with concern, and for good reason. With Ryan potentially spreading his focus across multiple teams, many fear that Wrexham's fairy tale rise could be at serious risk. Supporters argue that the club's stunning turnaround has been powered by Ryan and Rob's full-throttle commitment, both financially and emotionally. But if Ryan starts shifting his energy to Vancouver, there's a genuine fear that Wrexham could lose momentum, especially now when they're pushing hard for yet another historic promotion. Is this the moment where Wrexham's dream run starts to crumble? Adding even more fuel to the fire, it's not just Wrexham fans who are uneasy. Whitecaps supporters are skeptical too. Many are questioning whether Ryan's involvement will truly take their club to the next level, or if this is just another flashy Hollywood stunt. While his work with Wrexham has been widely celebrated, there's still serious doubt about whether he can actually replicate that success in the MLS. Is Ryan building a football empire? Or is this just another high-profile distraction? But why would Ryan even consider taking over the Vancouver Whitecaps? For starters, this isn't just any club, it's his hometown team. Getting involved would be a full-circle moment, driven by his lifelong love for soccer. The MLS is a massive commercial machine, far richer in opportunities than a lower-tier English club. And with soccer booming in North America, plus the 2026 FIFA World Cup set to take place right on home soil, diving into the MLS could be an absolute goldmine. Is this about passion, or is Ryan making his biggest business play yet? But hold on, this story just got even deeper. Ryan Reynolds' connection to the Vancouver Whitecaps isn't some sudden development. It's been brewing for a while. Flashback to last year, Wrexham went head-to-head with the MLS club in a preseason showdown. At the time, it seemed like just another friendly match. But now, it's looking like part of a bigger, carefully planned investment strategy. Was this game just coincidence? Or was Ryan testing the waters for something much bigger? But let's be real. This isn't just some ordinary deal. When Ryan and Rob McElhenney took over Wrexham, they snagged the club for around $2 million, practically pocket change in the world of football finances. But a potential Vancouver Whitecaps acquisition? That's an entirely different beast. We're talking about a massive investment that could easily surpass $300 million. This isn't just about passion. This is high-stakes business. A deal this big would undoubtedly require some serious outside investors to make it happen. Is Ryan ready to take on a deal of this magnitude? Or is he biting off more than he can chew? So, what's the real scoop? Is Ryan actually gearing up for a major move into the MLS? Or is this just strategic buzz to stir up interest in the Whitecaps? Fans are divided, and some are flat-out furious. One outraged supporter slammed the situation as absolutely disgusting, insisting that the entire thing was engineered to cater to Wrexham's growing US fan base. Another voiced frustration that outsiders were now overshadowing the club's Hollywood meets Welsh underdog fairy tale. And then came the wildest claim. Critics are now accusing the EFL of favoritism, alleging that they're bending over backwards to keep Wrexham on a winning trajectory. Is this genuine opportunity, or just another power play? In response to the growing uproar, Leyton Orient CEO Mark Devlin stepped in to clear the air. He explained that the real reason behind the rescheduling was Wrexham's jam-packed schedule, especially their commitments in the Virtue Motors Trophy. With limited open dates, there were few alternatives to choose from. As for the EFL, they haven't put out an official statement yet, but sources say both clubs were given plenty of notice about the change. The main factor? A mounting fixture pileup as the season heats up. Is this a logical scheduling move? Or are frustrated fans right to suspect something bigger at play? Despite the clarifications, the backlash against Ryan Reynolds is only growing. Fans aren't letting this go, and the skepticism surrounding his true intentions isn't fading anytime soon. Meanwhile, over in Blake's world, her legal chaos is spiraling out of control. The stakes are getting higher, and if this case actually goes to trial, both Ryan and Taylor Swift could be dragged in as witnesses. And the fallout? Brutal. Fans who once adored Blake are now turning on her, calling her wholesome image nothing more than an elaborate act. The public perception of her? Cracking fast. This whole situation is feeding the growing whispers that Blake has always had a hard edge and an inflated ego, believing she could rule Hollywood. The fallout has been rapid and intense, with social media exploding over her alleged actions. Fans and critics alike are questioning whether she ever truly deserved to be crowned America's sweetheart, or if that was just another part of her carefully crafted public persona. The drama has reached a boiling point, and Justin's unexpected counterattack is shaking things up in ways Blake never saw coming. Most people assumed he'd stay silent, or worse, side with her. But instead, he's actively going after her, and this shift is nothing short of game-changing. His role in all of this is a pivotal twist. With a staggering $400 million on the line, it's clear that Justin isn't about to let this slide. He's throwing down the gauntlet, and the stakes have never been higher. And let's not forget, this drama isn't just focused on Blake anymore. With Ryan and Taylor possibly called in to testify, we're heading toward one of Hollywood's most sensational legal and social media battles in recent memory. Their testimonies could completely shift public opinion, either proving or shattering the swirling rumors about Blake's behavior off camera. Will this bombshell reveal the truth, or create even more chaos? This is playing out like an actual Hollywood thriller, packed with betrayals, legal battles, and A-listers right in the middle of it all. The fans are divided, insiders are buzzing with gossip, and the media, they can't get enough of the juicy drama as it continues to unfold. Who will come out on top? Or will the chaos continue to spiral into something bigger? Can Blake salvage her tarnished image? Will Justin take this legal battle to the next level? And the big question, how will Ryan and Taylor handle the storm if they're dragged into court? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more juicy updates. We'll see you in the next one. See.